So you're looking to make a move to East Cobb? Well, great. I'm Vita Wooten and I am the agent for you. Today, I'm going to take you on a tour all around East Cobb. So sit back, hold on, and let's see where we're going to go today. Actually, it's not a tour in my car. It's a tour on the map. I want to show you all the places that you need to know about East Cobb so that you can be well equipped, well prepared, and get to all the great places when it's time for you to check all around East Cobb. All right, so first, what I want to show you, again, for those that don't know or that have heard the word East Cobb, but you're like, well, really, where exactly is that? The city is actually called Marietta, but those that live here, we say East Cobb. So Cobb County is a very, very large county, the second or third largest county in Metro Atlanta, and it is encompassed of East Cobb, Central, which is the downtown square area, and then regular part, which is West Cobb, but we also just say Marietta. So let's take a tour and a journey to some of my favorite places in East Cobb. So first, let's view or zoom in to where we're going to go. Now, the major thoroughfare in East Cobb is going to be Roswell Road, which is also known as the 120 Loop because it loops around. So you have Roswell Road proper, then you have Lower Roswell Road. So when anybody says anything about East Cobb, you generally start at the Big Chicken. Yes, it's a big chicken. It is literally, when I moved here from another state and relocated here, I'm like, what is everybody talking about? This big chicken. What is a big chicken? Well, it's actually a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant that has it's a landmark. It's on Cobb Parkway. It's a huge landmark and it is in the shape of a gigantic chicken. So let's start with the big chicken. That is on the base of Central Marietta or downtown, and then we go east from there on the 120 Loop. So our first stop, I'm going to take you from this direction, which is west. So this area here is downtown. Let's see if I could show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so this area here is downtown Marietta. Some people say Marietta, and it's so funny. When I first moved here, I'm like, Marietta? What is Marietta? What are these people talking about? It's just a southern slang that we like to fool around with. But if you can see here, this is Marietta Square. Marietta Square, and then this road that I'm telling you about, Roswell Road, which is also the 120 Loop. This is what gets you into East Cobb. So we're going to travel to the right, which of course is what? East. So we're going to go this way. And you know what? I'm going to put on my glasses because a sister's eyes aren't like they used to be. Okay, so let's see. This is the area where the big chicken is. We have Sam's Club directly across the street. I wonder if I can blow up. Will we be able to see the big chicken? It would have been great if I would have done this prior to, but I didn't because I want to show you all exactly where we're going to go on our journey through East Cobb. So there's a Sam's Club. There's a whole plaza. This is on Cobb Parkway. So we're talking about Cobb Parkway in the corner of Cobb Parkway and the 120 Loop, which is also, what did I say? Roswell Road. So, and as you can see, Interstate I-75 is right here. So you can jump off I-75, hook a right at the light, get onto Cobb Parkway, and then make another right onto Roswell Road. And there you have it. We are going to go on our journey to East Cobb. So we're traveling eastbound on Roswell Road. And one of the places that I want to talk to you about today is Terrell Mill Park. So this is a nice area. If you like going outside, they have a soccer field, 4 softball fields, a picnic pavilion, playground, tennis center. Everything's there. And if you can see, it says dogs allowed. Dogs are allowed. It's a great area if you just want to have some fun with the children, bring them around. Two of my children actually went to a private school, and when they were in the lower grades, and we used to come to Terrell Mill Park with the school on a field day. They would go out there and have all sorts of activities and those sort of things the at Terrell Mill Park. It's a pretty large park, as you can see. Fire department is right there nearby, and this park is on the corner of Terrell Mill Road and Paper Mill Road. So this is a tip northeastern part of East Cobb. So Terrell Mill Park, that's one of the areas. I have done another video where I showed you one of my favorite parks in East Cobb, which is, let's see if I can continue down Roswell Road and find the park, which I used to go to every single day. Oops, that's the church. The park is called, let's just take a stab at what the park is called. East Cobb Park. That is this location right here. So they have a huge pavilion, playgrounds, walking paths, picnic areas, fields, a creek overlooks. Dogs are allowed, of course. They have an area that's like a little miniature amphitheater. If you want to maybe watch a show or put on a little concert or something like that, you can do all of that at East Cobb Park, which is right here in the center. Right next to East Cobb Park is Fuller's Park, and it's not right next to it. It's on the map. It looks like it's right next to it. It's not a mile. It's maybe 3/4 of a mile away. But Fuller's Park is really a nice park where there's a lot of softball fields and those sort of recreational activities. My kids used to, I don't know if you all know, but my kids used to play all sorts of sports. So you can see right here, East Cobb Park, and it's like a circle, Fuller's Park. So if you want just to lounge and have like swings and slides and those sort of things at that kind of a park, or just lay out picnic area, they have a section for little ones, and then they have a section for bigger kids. Even though the bigger kids section, they do have another section there for smaller children. The park is split between the parking lots. So if you go into the main park, well, there's 2 parking lots, but if you go in past the first parking lot at the front, which sits basically facing Roswell Road, you go more toward the back, there's a huge parking lot there. If you go to the big grassy area to the left, where the restrooms and things are, that's where there's a fenced in like swings and jungle gym and seesaws and all that stuff. So they have some activities for bigger kids, but they also still have some stuff for smaller kids in that part. But at the other side of this same parking lot, way to the right, if you don't look for it, you might not even know it's there. There is a covered pavilion back there, but then there's just like this little tot park for the little ones. So big kids aren't going to want to go over there because it's going to be totally boring for them, but it's really nice if you just want your little kids to just kind of be able to roam and play around while you sit on the bench and watch and not have to really worry about the big kids maybe playing too rough. So that's something really cool at East Cobb Park. At Fuller's Park, there's really not a whole bunch of leisure activities at Fuller's Park. This is going to be more of your sports field. So they have like a bunch of softball. They have a gym at the very back where people can play basketball. So there's like a indoor court back there. There's multiple fields. So I guess you could do soccer, baseball. That's what my kids were, baseball and basketball and football. So all that stuff is back there. So check out Fuller's Park. So from there, we are going to continue on. So we're on Roswell Road. Remember, we started at the Big Chicken back here. Oh, before I do that, I want to point out some schools too. I'm only going to really point out the high schools. in East Cobb, because there's a lot of elementary schools, there are a lot of middle schools, obviously, but a handful of high schools. And the high schools that we're going to talk about are Wheeler High School. So that's going to be the first one at the base of East Cobb. This one is at the front end of kind of Roswell Road. It's off a road called Holt Road. So Wheeler is a very huge school. They've done all kind of renovations. It's really nice. That's one of the high schools, Wheeler High School. And then somebody goes to Wheeler High School, they're going to be that Terrell Mill. Remember I showed you Terrell Mill Park? They're going to be kind of that area. Then there's a huge community called Indian Hills Country Club. So this is, let me make it a little larger. This is a really great neighborhood. They have townhomes, a few, and these are a little bit older. They have a phenomenal country club. A lot of the children's schools, high schools will have like prom pictures. Like my son's, one of them, he graduated from Pope High School. Was it prom or homecoming? One of those. Anyway, they went to, the school had them meet at Indian Hills Country Club to do their formal pictures and take photos and all of that. So that was really nice. And we did that at Indian Hills Country Club. Of course, there's golf here in the community. So the people that live in the neighborhood, the houses range from, I would say you may be able to find something 500, but all the way in excess of a couple $1 million. Obviously, if you're going to be backed to the golf course, you're going to probably pay a little bit more. But there are hundreds and hundreds of homes over there. So that's a really, really great community. The neighborhood is so large. That's where I was going. The neighborhood is so large that some of the children go to Wheeler High School, and then some of the children go to Walton High School. So the neighborhood is split by two different high schools. So that's how large the neighborhood is. There's multiple entrances into the subdivision and in and out, ways in, ways out of the neighborhood. So some of the children go to Wheeler, some of the children go to Walton. One thing I want to mention about Wheeler is a STEAM or STEM school. So they do have advanced courses in the engineering and science type projects at Wheeler High School. So back to Roswell Road. We're going to leave Wheeler. We're continuing east on the I-20 loop, the 120, I said I-20, excuse me, the 120 loop. Not to confuse it with I-20. I-20 is an interstate. That will take you east and west across the country. 120 will not. It'll take you east and west through Cobb County, but that's it. So anyway, we're back on the 120 loop, also known as Roswell Road. We stopped by Fuller's Park. We stopped by East Cobb Park, which actually sits on Roswell Road. We talked about Indian Hills Country Club. So now we're going to go a little bit further, and we're going to go and get healthy. We're going grocery shopping. We're going to the Whole Foods Market. Now, I want to blow up this section here because everybody knows that this is one of the major intersections of East Cobb. It is Roswell Road and Johnson's Ferry Road. So if anybody gives you any directions or they say where they live, ask them, are you off Johnson's Ferry or are you off of Roswell Road? And if they say Roswell Road, they say, are you off of Roswell Road or Lower Roswell Road, which we'll go down there in a little bit. But mostly it's going to be those two major thoroughfares that are going to take you in and out and around East Cobb. So Johnson's Ferry, this one runs, coincidentally, this is interesting. Johnson's Ferry also runs, it technically runs east and west, but it also is a north and southbound direction. So you can take Johnson's Ferry Road all the way into Dunwoody, the perimeter area. You just take it. So that's going to be northbound. That's how you're going to get there. So anyway, let's get back to the main road. As you can see, I get sidetracked because I just love my city, and I'll take you all over this place. So Whole Foods. Everybody knows about Whole Foods. We know what Whole Foods has to have, what it has to offer. There's some great restaurants over here in the Whole Foods Plaza. There's shopping, there's all kinds of things. But one little caveat, one little thing I want to tell you also is, see this back here? Merchants Walk Cinemas. If you can't find your teenager one night, or if you just don't know where they are for a couple of minutes, you know they're hanging out, you know they're with friends, you know they're safe, but where are they? They're probably back here at the Merchants Walk Cinema, which is it's kind of the Whole Foods Plaza, but it's back. It's like in a cut. It's behind the plaza, so you have to really know how to get in there. So they're fine, they're safe. It's a very nice area. They're not up to anything. They're just probably hanging out in the parking lot for a little bit in between movies, and then they go in there, get their popcorn or whatever. It's not really a heavy trafficked area. This is one of the theaters. Obviously, we have multiple, but this is just a normal, regular movie theater. This is not one of the ones that you can dine and watch your movie. This is just a straight, regular, old school movie theater. So if you want to know where teenagers are, this is probably where they are. Like I said, they're fine. They're not up to anything bad. They're just probably hanging out back there at the movie theater. So let's continue on eastbound to back on the 120 loop. We're going to one of my favorite places, the avenues of East Cobb. So let me see if I can open that up. Check out one of my other videos. I'm walking you all around the avenues. There are so many different shops. So this is really an outdoor plaza. That's what Avenues is. It's like a mall, but it's all outside. You have Sephora, plenty of places to eat, Panera, Kill Me Crazy. They have a little outdoor area for the kids to play. This is a really nice place. The food is good, the shopping's good, the atmosphere is good, outdoor speakers. So if you just want to go out there and get some steps, that's a good place to go. You can go to the avenues and go shopping. If you can see, it's kind of in an arc shape. So you have facial place, you have Sephora, like I mentioned. Lovesac is over there if you want to get you one of those big comfy couches they always show on TV. They have salons. It's just all kinds of things over there. So you want to check that out. Now, what I did not mention, and I should have mentioned back here on our way from Whole Foods to the avenues, I skipped past the gym. Okay, so there's another gym over here. There's a few gyms. This one says Orange Theory. There's a LA Fitness right across the street from Dick's. That's over there. There's a Trader Joe's that I passed by. So there's all kinds of things. So this area, this big circular area here has a lot of shops, but also remember, that means there's probably going to be a little congested traffic because there is. It really just is. All right, so let's continue on. We are going to go, let's veer northwest a little bit. Here's the other school I was telling you that services Indian Hills Country Club. Obviously, it services multiple other parts of East Cobb. It's called Walton High School. Walton High School is a top high school in the country. I know it's in the top 10 for high schools in the entire United States. So we have a lot of home values. They are very stable in the Walton High School District because a lot of people really want to be in any of the schools in East Cobb, but a lot really want Walton High School. And I only pointed out Dodgen Middle School because my older son went there, but this school, Dodgen Middle, feeds into Walton, and it also feeds into Pope High School. He went to Pope High School because my child needed to go to Pope versus Walton. And I'm just going to leave it there. Those that know, they know. So anyway, those two schools are across the street from each other. It's a very tiny little street that the kids just go directly across the street to that school. And these are also, it's really interesting looking at it on the map because It is on the back side or across the street from where Whole Foods Market is. You can cut through some streets and get directly to those schools. All right. So let's jump back on our main thoroughfare, the 120 loop. Let me minimize a little bit so you can see. So we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. Now let's just go north again. We're going northwest. And this is the other school that I was talking to you about, Pope High School. Walton and Pope are probably the two top rated schools that most people in East Cobb, when they say, well, what part of East Cobb do you live? Or they'll say, what's your high school? And you'll say Walton or Pope. Or here's another one, Lassiter High School, or Sprayberry. So mention the high schools we have in East Cobb. We have Wheeler, which is down over here. Then we have Sprayberry High School. We have Hope High School. We have Lassiter High School. We have Walton High School. And we have Kell High School. So those are going to be all of the schools in all the high schools in East Cobb. So how many was that? Kell, Lassiter, Pope, Sprayberry, Walton, and was that it? Wheeler. 6. All right, so there's 6 high schools. So that gives you an idea about how vast and how large East Cobb is. This is just East Cobb. There's 6 high schools. So we know that the population is vast. All right, so I marked off Johnson's Ferry Baptist Church because this is a landmark for a lot of people. It's a huge, as you can see in this picture. I'm trying to make the picture for you to see a very, very big campus, and they are very inclusive to everyone. But I pointed this out because, like me, I have children that are active, and they have so many different activities for children. They have activities for moms. You don't even have to go to the church. You don't even have to be a member of the church. But it's just open. They welcome people with open arms, and that's one of the places that I just wanted to point out. But there's all kinds of places of worship all around. We have Atlanta Hebrew Bible School. We have synagogues. We have mosques. They're just everything. So this is a very, very, very well-rounded community. So this just made me think of the Old Town Athletic Club. This is one of the places that I frequent for the Realtor board. A lot of times we'll have meetings here. And this is in the heart of East Cobb. They're very open to letting people rent out their spaces, of course. People have wedding receptions there, just like they do at the Indian Hills Country Club, where the children took high school prom pictures and things. So if you need a place to rent or you need a venue, you can check out Old Town Athletic Club, or you can become a member, and I'm sure you would get better rates. Atlanta Swim Academy. This is in East Cobb as well. Several of my clients and their children go there. This is right off Johnson's Ferry Road. Imagine that. That's a really great swim club. People compete there. That's one of the major activities. Obviously, we have swim, we have tennis, we have golf, we have all the sports, but these are some of the ones that are on baseball are really, really popular here in East Cobb. So back to the 120 loop. I've taken you all around. We veered off a little bit. We went to Johnson's Ferry Baptist. We went to the Merchants Walk movie theater where the teenagers hang out, went to Whole Foods, told you about Walton High School and the middle school directly across the street, which is Dodgen Middle, that feeds into Walton. It also goes to where? Hope High School. Very good. Talk to you about East Cobb Park and Fuller's Park, which it looks like at the back of it they connect. I don't know how they connect. You can't drive through there, so they don't connect on foot or on vehicle. Maybe they connect on foot. I talked to you about the northwestern schools of Pope High School, Lassiter High School, and Kell High School, which is over here. So let me give you some generalities. Do not hold me to this, but I'm just going to give you the inside scoop about some of the things if your children are into sports in the schools. So academia is always first, so don't let me make you think I'm just talking about sports. Academia is the most important thing. So, but I want to talk to you about some of the things that the schools are kind of known for. So Kell High School, I do know that they're known for basketball. My middle son graduated from there, and they were the championships for the state. He has a ring, so they won all of the high schools for the state. So they were the champions for that for 2 years in a row. This current year and then last year when he graduated. So that is something about Kell. In addition to academia, don't forget, I'm not saying anything. I'm not only focusing on sports. Don't come at me about that. All right. So Lassiter, again, very good with academics. They are known for baseball is one of the things that I know about, as well as band. They have a huge new auditorium. Other schools utilize their auditorium at times, and they've been invited to the White House for their band. So if your children are into anything with any instruments or anything like that, Lassiter is probably your place. And I'm sure they're fine in other sports too, but those are the ones that I hear as far as the top sports. So we talked about Kell, we talked about Lassiter. Pope High School, which is where my older son and my older son already graduated. My younger son is getting ready to go there. They're really good. Their basketball team is okay. Their baseball, I think they're really, really good. Girls softball, I think. I don't have any girls, so I really don't remember all the girl sports. I don't have any girls in school. I have 2 bonus daughters, but I don't really remember the football stats. But when I hear other parents and my clients talking, I hear about baseball, that they do really well with that. I'm not sure about tennis, and lacrosse maybe. So we're going to leave Pope. Let's talk about Sprayberry. Not sure about anything academic not sure anything about sports with them. I do know one young lady that graduated from there. She's in the WNBA, so maybe female girls basketball, not sure. I do always pass by and see baseball going on outside there, but I don't know what their stats are. All right, Wheeler. Definitely focusing on academia, almost to the point that it's almost kind of like a charter school, but it is a public school. And not sure their major sport. Wheeler High School has been known for consecutive years of having great basketball players. Wheeler High School. So that's another one for basketball. Again, this is boys. All right, so let's keep going up 120 loop. Hopefully I haven't gotten y'all dizzy. I keep trying to go back to the 120 loop, so when I do get off course, I just jump you right back on a 120 loop Rousel Road and take you right back. So now what I'm going to do is tell you about, so that's Upper Rousel Road or Rousel Road proper, 120 loop. But then there's a Lower Rousel Road, if you can see that, where Indian Hills is, and you have Lower Rousel Road. You can cut through Indian Hills and connect over, or any of these cross streets, Johnson's Ferry, all the streets run parallel and they'll connect it to your post office, your early voting places, all that's over here on Lower Rousel Road. Terrell Mill Park is off that. And ladies and gentlemen, that sums it up for my quick map tour of East Cobb. And if you notice, East Cobb, this area here, is slightly west, a tad west of Sandy Springs and Dunwoody. It's just north of Chastain Park, Buckhead, and Brookhaven. It's east of Smyrna, where the Braves play, or Atlanta. And downtown Atlanta, it's going to be your northwestern suburb of downtown Atlanta, also known as Midtown. So, and the airport is right here in College Park, down at the bottom. So that gives you an idea about this lovely town of East Cobb. Again, if you want to know your way in or out of East Cobb, you're moving in East Cobb, moving around East Cobb, relocating here, or you just want to know some side streets to get you through traffic, reach out to your girl, Vita. I know all about East Cobb. I know all about anything you want to know, boy sports, and more. So just let me know. I would love to help you buy a home, sell a home, buy an investment property, sell an investment property, or even small commercial. That's what I do. I'm your girl, Vita. Talk to you later. Bye.